In 2040, Reito Mizuhara receives a multiple sclerosis diagnosis and is cryogenically frozen. 5 years later, Mira Suo revives and heals Reito. He and 4 other immune men were similarly frozen when the male killer virus first appeared 4 years ago, and Mira explains that they need to have children in order to keep humanity from extinction. Reito steps outdoors in shock and is attacked by lust-driven ladies right away till he is saved. His now adolescent sister Mahiru shows up and informs them that Ryu became ill with the virus and had to be frozen in order to survive. She also reveals that Elisa Tachibana, a friend from their shared upbringing, disappeared 3 years ago. That evening, Mira makes an effort to seduce Reito, but he turns her down. Reito is then shown a number of bathing women, and Mira invites him to select his pregnancy partner the following morning. He rejects her out of astonishment and insists on finding Elisa, the only woman he wants to have children with. Mira nods in agreement, but adds that she will send a different girl to Elisa's room every night until she is caught. One of the immune guys, Kyoji Hino, enjoys his new existence and sleeps with actress Reina Kitayama. After eating with Reito, Mahiru, and Mira, Hino approaches him and makes fun of him for his hesitancy. Reito is later ambushed by Akane Ryuzuji in the shower and is tried to be seduced, but he faints and is taken to his room. Then, reluctantly sharing platonic beds with Akane and Sui Yamada. The next day, while looking for answers in Elisa's former laboratory, Reito, Mira, Akane, and Sui are attacked by a released bear. On the other side, Sui gets rid of it. When he learns Elisa is developing a treatment for the MK virus, Reito decides to finish her work and announces his purpose on television. After receiving Mahiru's rebuke, Reito finds a taped message from Elisa explaining that the MK virus is a biological weapon created by humans inside her old teddy bear. He acknowledges to Mira that she resembles Elisa and expresses regret for not having children. But she argues that pursuing a cure is the best option. Reito is seen as a danger to the authority of a female council in the meanwhile. The resurrection of a different guy is then planned. Shoda Doi's sister Mayu and his teacher Yuzuki Hani are his sole allies as he battles Takamatsu, Erika, and his gang in 2040. He gets sick, becomes immobilized, and gets angry when his classmates leave without listening to his farewell speech. 5 years later, Karen Kamiya heals and revives him and tells him about the MK virus and Mayu's disappearance. He goes back to his former school and meets Yuzuki again, who entices him. Although he starts to have feelings for other girls, a volleyball that gets loose hurts him. Despite the fact that they have always been in love, Yuzuki treats him and seduces him once more. Later, Karen informs her supervisors, who ask why it was necessary to reopen the old school. She asserts that Shoda and the girls believe Shoda to be the last man on Earth since they are uninformed of Hino and Reito. They want to utilize them as puppets in their scheme to take over the world as a result. Shoda has been sharing a bed with Yuzuki every day. A week later, Karen forces him to attend a swimming lesson. Natsu Ichijo is then given the role of being his roommate. She admits, after Shoda helps her get dressed, that her father set up her marriage to an older man before the MK virus murdered both of them. She then tempts him after that. When Mira tells Reito that Mahiru volunteers at a refugee shelter, he continues to work on the cure. She does, however, caution him that she might be in danger if it is learned that Mahiru is his sister. When Hino first meets Reito, he confesses to having his way with one of his females. When Yuzuki comes back, Shoda asks for forgiveness after confessing to sleeping with Ichijo. However, she is told that everyone knows and that Ichijo belongs to everyone. He confronts Karen and requests an explanation. She walks with him to class and tells him that she reopened his old school to make him feel at home, so he would mate and help repopulate the world. The girls then get naked in his presence. Reito's refusal to mate, according to the council, renders Mira ineffectual and necessitates her removal from her position. Before being made to mate, Reito has a month to develop the cure. Despite her ongoing employment, Mira is removed from her role as Reito's assistant and is replaced by Rei Katagiri, who seems hostile to him. Reito also collaborates with retired virologist Maria Kuroda. The gang next makes their way to Keiman City, the MK virus's hub, to speak with Taniguchi, the hospitalized widow of the virus's first victim. With the girls, Reito hesitantly takes a hot spring bath. Reito is made fun of by Taniguchi for his incapacity to mate as he refuses to participate. When they leave, it is made clear that Taniguchi has spoken with Elisa and is puzzled as to why she hasn't spoken. An American woman named Chloe seduces Reito in a hotel sauna, just as the other guests arrive, angering them, and convinces him into kissing her. Later, Mira discusses Reito's honor with Taniguchi and persuades her to divulge what she knows. But someone sneaks in and poisons her IV tubing, seriously hurting her. Prior to passing out, Taniguchi asks that Reito give her a picture of her and her spouse. The abandoned hospital where the first victim received care is the site of a fruitless search for evidence by Reito, Sui, and Maria. Rhea is thought by Akane to have poisoned Taniguchi. Rhea steps in to stop another girl from taking advantage of her sister. Reito studies the image and finds unfinished plans for the MK virus's design. Later, Akane and Maria inform him that people who are developing the treatment have begun missing inexplicably. Hino, who is unhappy with his harem, chooses Mahiru as his next bed partner after spotting her. Reito and Mahiru are informed by his attendant Neneko, who raises concerns about her age but agrees to a lunch appointment with Reito. As a publicity gimmick, the council orders Reito to hand out food as Akane reveals that Kihara, their leader, is actually her mother. Mira then rejects Rhea after she expresses her love to her. While Reito is distributing food, a sniper tries to kill him, but Rhea's sister stops him. Hino is depressed when Mahiru rejects him after their lunch date, but he consoles them by having sex with his envious harem. Reito, Maria, Sui, and Akane learn that several of the missing doctors visited the abandoned hospital. Shoda is told by Karen that he must wait to leave the school until he has graduated. His replacement roommate will be chosen at random later on by the class. Rika Yanagi triumphs, but because she resembles Erika, he runs to the teacher's lounge. When Shunka Hiragi comes, she immediately bonds with him by admitting that she too had experienced bullying. She then tempts him after that. Shoda once more flees as a result of Rika's vehemently asserting that it was supposed to be her time and fighting Shunka. He makes an effort to get in touch with Yuzuki, but gets no response. The volleyball player who hit him, Akira Tiid, apologizes and tempts him. In a novel arrangement, Karen hires a young woman to be his daily servant. After kissing Rika, he slips and cuts his hand. Following treatment, Karen demands that Ichijo, Shunka, and Akira bed with him simultaneously. He tries to be seduced by Chifuyu Ran Kuroda, but is turned off by her innocent appearance. He is furious when Karen tells him that Yuzuki has departed. Over the next few days, he becomes noticeably more sexually aggressive with the girls. He was shocked when Shion Hoshino, one of the females who continuously shunned him while he was being bullied, transferred in one day. Shion asks several people for help, but the girls decline because of her young age. Shion aspired to be an actress, but Karen reveals that the MK virus prevents her from getting a part until she mates with Shoda. Still furious from her ignoring him, he humiliates her by making her attend class in just her underwear before they make out in public. Shoda then gives Karen the order to find the person and bring her to him. Reito's team, however, is of the opinion that the infection started at the closed hospital. Delivered to a vengeful Shoda in chains, Erika is made to lick him. Karen gives the women instructions to vie for the title of Shoda's primary wife. He is wooed by Ichijo and Akira in the pool. Later, he had affairs with a variety of girls in various places. Erika enters his room wearing a collar and behaving like a dog. She is unable to answer his question about Takamatsu's whereabouts. After Shoda has slept with the girl, Erika begs for medication to help her kick her drug addiction. He feeds it to her with his mouth. Reito's team goes back to the deserted hospital because he thinks there might be clues there about Elisa's whereabouts. A crew of American mercenaries looking for Reito arrive, led by Miss Pope and Miss Mansfield. Elisa makes contact with a student in Shoda's class and requests that she start their plan. Shoda is tempted by multiple girls in the girls' bathroom, and he later starts having affairs with them all over the place. While investigating the deserted hospital with Reito's squad, Sui unintentionally smashes a wall to expose an air duct. They pass through it on their backs and land in a lab below Earth. The mercenaries, led by Chloe, who is Miss Mansfield, kill the individuals inside who attempt to kill them. As the lab burns to the ground, they find a time bomb and are forced to escape on a chopper. Miss Pope meets with the council and takes them into custody after determining that the MK virus was produced at their behest. When Chloe says Elisa is a part of a terrorist organization, Reito is taken aback. Shoda has simultaneous affairs with multiple girls as Shion wants to leave the school, but Karen stops her. Erika is seen asleep when Shoda enters his room, and he covers her with a blanket. Explosions abruptly shake the school. The explosions are seen by Reito's gang, and Chloe finds out that a man has been abducted by terrorists. In the hospital, Shoda awakens to Karen explaining that terrorists tried to kidnap him, but failed. She is shocked by his defense of Erika and becomes aware of the existence of other males. He asks her why she won't sleep with him, to which she replies that she wants to dominate the world, and he decides to help her. A man in stasis named Zen Kinabuchi was taken hostage by Elisa's terrorists. As soon as Chloe's party seizes control of Japan, Hino is told not to get married until the terrorists are vanquished. He nods in agreement, but when Chloe takes him away from his girls, he loses his cool. After Akane discovers that she and the other council members will be prosecuted for developing the MK virus, Reito helps her see Kihara in her imprisonment. Elisa uses radio hacking to make it known that her organization, Izanami, is made up of anti-UW rebels rather than terrorists. They contend that Izanami is fighting to save the males and that the virus was manufactured by all world leaders in an effort to exterminate men and establish a world ruled by women. Both men who are awake and men in stasis must surrender, they insist. Chloe is deemed to be unreliable by Reito's gang and they opt to leave. Unexpectedly, Shoda and Karen are discovered in Reito's chamber. Shoda had already undergone a treatment to make him appear slightly older so he wouldn't require glasses. They meet Chloe while they are back in the present and bring Shoda's girls with them, briefly reuniting Maria and Shifuyu. Reito comes upon Mira in the meantime and convinces her to come along with them as they go, but she will only accept if he mates with her, which he declines to do. They are unexpectedly detained by Miss Pope in order to send them to America. Akira is being held captive by a gun as Akane and Sui attempt to save them. Rhea and Maria unexpectedly show in and knock out Miss Pope. They escape by boat to Mahiru's refuge. Shoda and Karen agree to an agreement with Chloe that will let Shoda continue mating while Karen takes over as the leader of Japan. Reito's group travels to Taiwan on an Izanami-owned ship, but Rhea and Mira stay behind and are detained. Hino contacts Reito and wishes him luck, but he won't leave his girls behind because Chloe has locked them up. For her failure, Miss Pope is stripped and spanked, and Chloe makes a threat to exterminate all men. Shoda chose Reina, who is in prison, as his next victim after having sex with his females. Reito and Elisa are reunited after the ship docks. Please hit the subscribe button and like the video on your way out.